I'm going to let you draw that 2-foot diameter circle. Just remember, it's a 2-foot diameter, which means it's a 1-foot radius. So you can come over here and draw circles based on radius or diameter. That'll be your pick. But what I want to show you is really this rug. And you can draw these tassels, and I want to show you how to use the array command to draw this, the tassels here, and then how to use the array, polar array, to draw the tassels here. Let me start with the rectangular rug. I'm going to go and draw a line, so I'll type in L, enter. And then I'll start somewhere here. It doesn't matter where, because I can always move my rug later. And then I'm going to turn ortho on. And I want this line to be, oh, let's say 4 feet. And enter. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter, it doesn't matter. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to stop there because I just want to show you how to do these tassels and use the array. So I'm not going to draw the rest of it. I'm just going to focus right here for a second. So I'm going to type in L for line and enter. And I'm going to start a tassel here, and I think I want that to be 6 inches. So I'm going to type in 6 and enter. And then I'll enter again to terminate the command. Now I'm going to use the array command. Home tab, modify panel, I have array. If I click on the drop down, there's a rectangular array, and then I have polar. I'll use both of them today. So I want a rectangular array, so I click on that, and then it says select the object. So I pick my line, and then I enter. And by default, AutoCAD wants to put in 4 columns and 3 rows. But I don't need those 3 rows, so I'm going to change that to just 1 row, and I'll enter. And now I have 4 columns. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And it's telling me that the space between the columns is 1 inch. Well, I want to increase that, so I'm going to try 3 inches. I'm just playing around here. And you'll see how it modifies. And then I can take this grid point right here, and I can drag it. And as I drag it, it's going to continue the array. And I'm going to stop it right here because it's in line with the end point of my line. And what it's telling me now is that I have 17 columns. The distance between them is 3 inches. Total distance is 4 feet. But now watch this. If I decide I want it to be 4 inches apart, I type in 4 and I enter. Well, now it got a little bit longer. All I have to do is just drag this back here, and I'm all set. And then the last thing, you can keep it associative, which means that when I'm done, it's going to treat all of these objects as one array, or you can turn off associative, which means that when I close the array, they're all going to be individual line segments. It doesn't matter which one you pick for this assignment. I'll leave mine as associative for now, and I will close the array. And now when I hover over one of the lines, it's highlighting the entire array, and it tells me that's the array. So that's how you would do the tassels there. Now I'm going to come over here. I'll just stay right here in this location, and I'll use the polar array to draw this rug. I'll bring that out of the way. I'll draw a circle. I look at my command line. Let's see. Sorry, circle. There we go. Pick a center point. And how big do I want my rug to be? If I enter a radius of 1'6", that means my rug is 3 foot in diameter. Now I'll put the tassels in. I'll draw a line. I'll type L, enter. And I really want that line to be right at the top here. So I'm going to use my object snaps, but because I don't have quadrant as an object snap, I'm going to use Shift right click. When I use Shift right click in the middle of a command like this, I get this pop-up menu. And this will let me override my object snaps for this one time. And I go and I look for quadrant, and I click on quadrant. And you'll see how if I hover over an endpoint or an inner, but when I come over to my circle, it finds that quadrant, so I can click one time. And now it will not find another quadrant. It goes back to finding endpoints and intersections and all that. Okay, so I want to make this tassel 4 inches. So I type in 4 and enter. And then I'll enter again to terminate the command. Now I'd like to put the tassels all around my rug. So I go back to the array command, click on the drop down here. I want to select polar array. Select the objects. I want this one, and I enter. And now it wants the center point of the array. And the center point will be the center of my circle, but I don't have center as a running object snap. So hold down Shift key, right click, release the Shift key, and then select center as my object snap. And all it's going to do is look for a center point. I hover over the circle, it finds the center point, I click. And now by default, AutoCAD is going to drop in 6 items. I can now increase the amount of items. And maybe I want to go with 12 and enter. Or maybe I want to go with more. And it's adjusting the space in between, and it is filling the whole 360 degrees. I will leave it as associative for now, and I will then close the array. That gives me the rug. So I will now zoom extents. My drawing is an example. I want yours to be finished. I'll go ahead and take this, delete it. I'll take my rug. I will window everything here. I will move it. I'll turn ortho off. I'll put it somewhere here. Zoom extents and save.